Welcome, everybody, to our public council meeting, the first, and I think the only one in August. It is the 5th of August, 2025, and I'd call for a motion, folks. You see before you an agenda, and it's moved by, thank you, Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Lane. All in favor of the agenda? Hearing no contrary, that's been adopted. The land acknowledgement. I'm on paper-based here for this evening, folks, sorry. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro community and region continue to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Minutes before you, council, from the previous meeting on July 22nd. Any errors or omissions? Hearing none, I'll need a motion to adopt those minutes. Moved by Councillor Fry. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Antle. All in favor? And opposed? And that's been carried as well. Council, anything arising from those minutes, either the minutes or the action report? Just quote the item number. Moving right along. If I wasn't late, the meeting would have been over by now, wouldn't it? Next on the agenda, we have an important thing we're about to do today related to municipal enforcement. And we have a new municipal enforcement officer. I believe his name is Jordan Cole. Welcome, Jordan, to the chamber. And it's good also to see one of your peers here. We have Mr. Tilley, who's the manager, municipal enforcement manager. And of course, your colleagues are all here, Director Collins, but this is really important to the city director, and I'd like you to speak to it just quickly, if you would. But the role of the MEOs here in the city of Mount Pearl and why we're unique.
Thank you, Your Worship. We are certainly a little unique in Mount Pearl. We have a park patrol program, which is unique in the region, given our extensive trail system. And our municipal enforcement also enforce moving violations, the Highway Traffic Act, and which many other municipalities, certainly in the region, do not. And with our new community safety plan, enforcement is a big part of that, including many other community stakeholders.
Well, I think we should get him on the payroll. What do you guys think? Hey, Manager Tilley, are you coming up as well for this oath, or is it just me and Mr. Cole? All right, come on up, Mr. Cole. If you don't mind, I may call you more informally, but you'll be Municipal Enforcement Officer Cole when this finishes now in a second. You've got your oath of office there. Do you want to come up here in this area? And I'm going to ask you if you would for Councillor Lane's mother's probably watching, so we just want to make sure we capture your voice as well. Thank you.
I, Jordan Cole, do solemnly swear that I will well and truly serve our sovereign the King in the position of municipal enforcement officer, without favor or affection, without malice or ill will, that I will see and cause His Majesty's peace to be kept and preserved, and I will prevent to the best of my power all offenses against same, and that I will, while I continue to hold the said office, I will, to the best of my skills and knowledge, discharge all the duties thereof faithfully according to law, that I will not directly or indirectly, without due authority, disclose to any person any information or other matter that may come to me in the performance of my employment as a municipal enforcement officer for the city of Mount Pearl. So help me God.
Well, welcome to the city of Mount Pearl. You've been on payroll. I kind of joked about that, but you've already been. I seen you over at the torch run the other day. So how have you found your first week?
It's been good.
It's been good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great working with the staff here, and I can assure you the commitment from this council to enforcement, policing, and safety in this community is largely second to none. Colleagues, would you like to say anything? Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Welcome to our team, Officer Cole. It's really, I'm really happy to see you here. We have a great team of municipal enforcement, and I know that our residents are really pleased with the services that you guys provide. Just wondering a little bit about your background.
So prior to this, I was employed as a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for just shy of 4 years in Alberta. In between that and this, I also worked as a fraud investigator in the insurance industry. And prior to that, before I was a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, I also worked in the nonprofit sector, working in an outreach capacity with people that were street involved and suffering from addictions and mental health.
Okay, I'm going to ask any other members of council if they'd like to speak. Were you finished, Councillor Fry? Or did you have a follow-up?
I was just going to say it's the perfect fit for our team. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'd ask our CAO and Director Collins to join us for the picture, please. Yes.
Here in front there, Jordan. All right. Center.
Folks, reading the agenda, I see the next item is the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee report. Councillor Antle, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll take the first two and then I'll pass on to the Deputy Mayor. One is our Mount Pearl Integrated Transportation Plan, something that we've been working on for quite some time here within the city. The Integrated Transportation Plan for the City of Mount Pearl was to develop to guide future growth and mobility by transitioning the city from a car-centric model to a multi-model, sustainable and smart transportation network. The plan integrates road transport, transit, active transportation and parking systems, aligning with the city's municipal plan and strategic goals. Key objectives include reviewing the 2015 Integrated Transportation Study, conducting a comprehensive transportation analysis, and preparing a plan that supports safe and sustainable infrastructure. It is recommended that the Council accept the Integrated Transportation Plan as completed and utilizing it as a guiding framework for transportation, planning, investment, and problem solving in alignment with our strategic priorities set by Council, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Any questions, Council? This is a big shift, I think, in future direction. And I'd like to ask, if I could, the CAO to, what impact is this going to have on our municipal plan, how it works together, and any impact directly on our regulations and how we build the city of the future?
Sure. No direct impact immediately on our municipal plan. As you know, we submitted our revised municipal plan in December to the province, and we're still waiting on feedback. However, the ITP, or Integrated Transportation Plan, is more of a guiding framework for the city and our transportation needs and planning. So essentially how we see this document working long-term is just like that. So an issue may arise, and we'll utilize the ITP to assess with the information we have, to assess the risk and the outcome and make an informed decision or recommendation to council that way. So for example, if we were looking at future trail use planning, if we were looking at speeding concerns, if we were looking at just development in a neighborhood and what active versus passive transportation looks like, if we're looking at regional transit planning with Metrobus and our partnership there, the ITP is a guiding framework. So it may result in eventual changes to bylaws or regulations, but at this point in time, there's no immediate impact. We're going to be using it more as a framework for information. And the beautiful thing about the ITP is that it has a series of recommendations that the city can use and assess over time. So we're really looking forward to, actually, we are already putting it to use to a certain extent, and really looking forward to continuing that work.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Kiley.
No, I just also wanted to speak to it and kind of elaborate on the good things that have been said by our CAO and Councillor Antle. This is going to be an incredibly important document moving forward, and why I'm fully supporting it, and certainly Council is fully supporting it, is recognizing that transportation being looked at in a holistic way and a long-term way is going to really benefit with regards to how we as individuals can really move about in our community. And sometimes when we look at matters of transportation, whether it be this thing here, trails, this thing here, buses, by looking at it in a holistic manner, we can see the larger picture. It allows for some consistency with regards to response. And at the end of the day, finally looking at a matter that we are hearing more and more about with regards to whether it's an issue, whether it's with regards to wanting to see more of a service. By having this all together, we are really looking and doing justice to transportation in our city. So I'm really excited about this. And also thank you, and incredible thanks to the staff from Planning and Engineering Development on behalf of myself and my colleagues. It's been a tremendous amount of work that has been put forward on this. And moving forward, this is also going to be creating some work in a good way and in a productive way. So that's all I wanted to say to that.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. I just wanted to make a few comments on it regarding, intertwining our integrated transportation study with our traffic calming measures and it all ties together because, and we're talking about car centric, we're talking about Metrobus, we're talking about with the e-bikes on our trailway in our system, getting from point A to point B. Our recreation department is so involved now because, the city of Mount Pearl got so many trailways that our trails are pretty well filled up now in the daytime. I can see, I walk the trail every now and again sometimes, but it's like after supper, and there's a lot of bikes on the trail now. And I'm so happy we're actually connecting the crossing on the T-rail now on Commonwealth Avenue as well, because it's all part of the transportation plan for the city and intertwining all the parts that fit together. So it's so important for all aspects of every resident in the city, not only just cars, but people who haven't got a car that use our, like Councillor Fry mentioned about our Metrobus system, and Deputy Mayor mentioned about, the holistic part of having everything combined under this transportation network plan. And one of the big things that's important to me, I know it's all important, but we got a speeding issue in the city, and other municipalities do as well. But having these traffic calming measures in the city and putting those in place and having a policy and a plan now where residents can report and apply for to get traffic calming measures put around their area, their streets, is so important. So I'm so happy that we're signing off and we're actually taking part now in putting this plan together. And at the end of the day, it's going to be great for the city. Thank you.
Anybody else? Councillor Antle, there's an amazing team effort has gone into this. It's taken a good part of over a year, going on 2, and it's part of our strategic plan. But I think, Catherine Power, you're here. You've been very much essential to it all. I want to just throw kudos to you and Director Batt, to the committee, Deputy Mayors, along with Councillor Antle, CAO, all the directors. It's been a real team effort. And although you may not see anything in concrete next week or the week after, It does set the guiding direction. I say strategically. Others may just say tactically or operationally. But without this work being done, we'd have no sense of direction, would we? Final thoughts? Hearing none? I'm going to call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried.
Thank you, Your Worship, and it was a job well done. Now, the second one for me is mostly is information only. It's regarding our building permit listings for July 14th to the 25th. You can see them in your kit there. And for this month, it was $405,100. And for building construction commercial, there's 3 there for $3,350,000. And that's in for your information only. And now I'll turn it over to our Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Ansel. So I will wrap up our Planning, Engineering, Development Committee items with 3 others. I've got capital works updates for everybody today, which is the following information is for the public, of course. Our sewage lift station tender has been awarded and the work has commenced, which is a significant and milestone, certainly, when it looks at a lot of the development we're doing north of Topsail, as well as the Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades tender has been awarded. So the work for that is to be expected within the next few weeks of this month, as well as the asphalt and concrete tender has been awarded. And the start to that is, it would be this month as well. And finally, line markings contract is about 95% complete. So that work is almost done as well. That leads me then to our community center update as our 4th item. So this is again some updates brought forward for the information of the public. So the design phase of the community center project is mostly complete, and construction activities and processing landscaping around the newly completed Canada Games parking lot is finished and ready, and for the upcoming event, which we're all excited for. We have many people who are going to be visiting our city, and we have a great place for them to park. Several critical components of the underground infrastructure of the city center is done and required for the splash pad and ice services have been delivered to the site. So the prep work for that installation is ready to go. And the Planning and Engineering Development Department remains in active communication with the contractor to ensure steady and coordinated coordination across all aspects of the project. And I cannot reiterate enough how closely our team is working with the development team. It's been an incredible amount of work being done by some of our team members, as well as it was really exciting. I just a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity, along with my colleagues in person and me virtually, to just do a quick tour of the site. And it was absolutely astounding. Certainly everybody has probably seen, if you pass by, the work being done, just from a long glance over to the area. However, it was something special to see just all the areas where you could see and start picturing and imagining what services, what events, what is going to feel like being in the actual building. So it's quite exciting. And that leads us then to our final item, which is again an occupancy permit listing. Oh my. Let's try this again. Occupancy permit listing. That covers between the period of July 14th to July 25th, 2025. And it's an item being brought forward for the information of public as well. And as you see, my colleagues, in your kit, there are 3 items listed there. So there's 3 occupancy permits that were awarded within that time. The total previous time was 35. That leads us to 38 to date. So certainly a lot of movement, development within the city, and very proud to be talking and updating folks about that. And that is the end of our report. So I hand it right back to the mayor.
Thank you very much. No motion required, City Clerk. It's for the information, right, on that particular one. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Over now to Recreation and Community Safety, Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. 2 items on our agenda this evening. The first is regarding the Canada Games, which is just around the corner now. So we warmly welcome all athletes, coaches, officials, and visitors participating in the Canada Games to our province and to our city especially. We are thrilled to host such incredible events and look forward to celebrating Mount Pearl's strong sense of community and, of course, our spirit of sport and commitment to excellence with you all. Enjoy your time in Mount Pearl and best of luck to everyone competing, especially our Mount Pearl athletes. And finally, on our agenda this evening is regarding our community safety and well-being plan. We just want to bring an update for the public information. Work on the community safety and well-being plan is actively underway. Consultations are continuing through August the 5th, and these are led by Think Well Research. A full schedule of focus group sessions has been shared, and there has been strong interest from the community. We've had over 130 people expressing interest in taking part. And this, of course, is in addition to the 395 survey results that we had received. So we're delighted to have such strong community participation. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Well delivered. Looking forward to that plan. It's moving right along. Next committee report is Corporate Services, Public Works, Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much. The first item on our agenda this evening is the invoices for approval. The committee recommends that the following invoices totaling $468,766.75 be approved for payment, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Rice. Any questions? I have one. The item there for number 2 is dated 2023. Is that a typo? I'm just curious. Is it a current item or is it an old item? Please, Director Mullins. It's like a year later that it's being paid. Was there? Right here, yes, but what's the exact date? Do we pay for that in advance? I don't know. It's a recreation community safety type of an event. This is August. That's 2 months down the road. So just curious whether that was last year's or it's going to be for this year. Want to take it away? Take it away? Yeah, just let us know. Okay, thanks so much. Anybody else? Councillor Antle.
Just more of an observance as opposed to anything else. Number 4 and 5, the trail lights, solar lights. I see it's 191,000 and 91,000. I thought the budget was 250 on that. I could be wrong, but I remember when we talked about it in our budget, I thought it was $250,000. So we're over budget on that. Is that right? Or thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Antle. We're going to Director Collins.
Yes, there was a small overrun in order to ensure that when it came to the lights, when it was measured and with the estimates, that in order to make sure that they were working properly, we need to add some extras. So it was about a 32,000, if I remember correctly, extra. Correct.
Hearing no more? Oh, Councillor Antle,
It's just
you
the
know,
final
he's in
up to that.
overdrive tonight, folks.
Sorry about that, Director Collins. So is that it now? That's the final? Yeah. And just on that, the solar lights, we don't get no more bills on that. That's it, the solar, we're done. Thank you.
No electrical bills, that's for sure. Very environmentally friendly, invest in the technology. The lighting is wonderful, as a matter of fact. And I guess the question is, how long will the solar panels and the light bulbs last? But everything has a limited life, but they look like they're very, very high quality. And I think they're used throughout the region too, from what I've been told, in other municipalities. I'll call the question then. All in favor? And those opposed? Thank you, carried.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the payment register. For the information of council, the following payment register report for July 17th to the 30th, 2025 total $861,471.22, and that's for information purposes only, council, as you can see there in your kit. Okay, and I will pass it over to my colleague, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. And number 3 is our professional development and training request. This is for Recreation Community Safety Director Jason Collins. The committee recommends approval for the Director of Recreation and Community Safety to attend the Hawks Sports Hosting Conference in Regina, Saskatchewan on October the 29th and October the 30th, 2025. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, thank you, and seconded by Councillor Lane, thank you. Any questions? I'll call the question. All in favor? Contraminded, and that is carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is our public works status report. Under our roads division, work continues on asphalt repairs, street sweeping, maintenance hole and catch basin repairs, and lawn repairs. The accessible boardroom at City Hall is still ongoing. Under our parks division, work continues on our landscape prep work, maintenance on our sports fields, parks and open space mowing, preparation for Canada Games. There's a lot of work gone into to our Public Works Department with the Canada Games here now starting on actually commissioning for some of it starting on August the 5th. Under our Fleet Division, ongoing service and maintenance on our equipment. Under our UTM Division, general calls for our plug sewers, service locates, our new water and sewer service inspections, our camera inspections, water and sewer repairs, leak detection, fire hydrant painting, valve exercising, catch basin cleaning, and our lift station inspection and maintenance. And under our water levels at Bay Bulls Big Pan as of July 28, 2025 are attached in your graph there. And as you can see, the numbers are still declining with all the dry period we've had. So water conservation should be at the everybody's mind right now. Conserve water and, only use water when you have to and follow the guidelines set forth on the city website. And that's it for our report. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Rice. Councillor Antle has a question, I think.
I do. I mentioned to Councillor Rice earlier on. I noticed we're down about 8 feet versus 2024. Is there any talk, I had a call from a resident today, about banning water usage here within the city?
So thank you. So no, as of right now, we haven't heard anything from Regional Water on a complete ban of water usage. But given where we're to, given the levels, if this dry weather continues, it may happen. But to date, we haven't heard any talks of such a ban.
Okay, perfect. Thank you both. There was no motions required. That was updates. I guess we're going to move to the next phase in the agenda, which would be the roundtable. And I'm going to start with Deputy Mayor Kiley.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have one item, and it's one I believe would be on everybody's mind, which is the wildfires that we're seeing within our area and with our neighboring communities. First and foremost, our deepest thoughts and wishes are out with all of the individuals that have been directly impacted by this currently, whether it's you've been displaced or you've lost homes, or again are just feeling the impacts of this. And while we as a city are currently not under any sort of evacuation alert or what have you, I can imagine we've got friends and family members and individuals that we know from neighboring communities that have been directly impacted. So again, just to let you know that we're certainly thinking about you. And just as a time right now for what we can do as a city, within the city of Mount Pearl, and certainly as a province, we really need to look at, and on the heels of what we were just talking about, we need to be looking at ways in which we can really recognize that climate change is happening. Wildfires are something that now are certainly an imminent issue. And so when we think about things like the fire ban, please respect that ban while it's in place, along with water conservation when you can and if you can. So just again, while certainly thoughts and our thoughts of care and the best wishes during a really difficult time for many individuals around the province. Also, a message for those living within our city, what we can do, of course, supporting, bringing, I'm sure some people leaving their homes to family members and loved ones who have been displaced, but also, looking at ways in which we can really be safe and know that it's not just you're impacting, but this can have an incredible impact, a devastating impact on a community if we are not looking at things like fire ban. So that's the one item for me for tonight, and thank you, Your Worship.
Oh, well said. It's on everybody's mind, and I'll speak to it again a little bit later as well. But over to you, Councillor Antle, next.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have two items. I'm sorry, Councillor. One of them has to do with Canada Games. Councillor Rice and I have been on the Canada Games committees for the past year, not as councillors, but as volunteers. And, it takes a lot of time, but we're all excited about Canada Games. But I want to give a shout out to Director Collins. I'm there as a volunteer, and I go to the meetings, and I stress that I wasn't there as a councillor. But every time as a venue lead, we'd go talk about our venues. And every time we talked about a venue, Mount Pearl always came up very, very well. And they always would say, well, Jason had that handle, Jason had that handle. So you made us proud, and it was a job well done. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. And the second thing for me is last Saturday, I was on the invitation of AMP. They had Shakespeare by the Sea out here in Centennial Square. And I must say, it was fabulous. There must have been about 40 people there, right? And it was Shakespeare by the Sea, and it was a job well done. It was a full hour show. And if you ever attended one of these shows, I attended, it was called Bottom the Weaver. And it was really interesting when you got there. They had 5 or 6 actors. And once you got into the show, it was a comedy. And for the full hour, you really got involved in the show. What a fabulous show. I couldn't get over how well it was. They've said to the actors after, I can't wait to see it again. It was a job well done. And for the 40 people that were there, they certainly enjoyed it. They were standing ovations, and job well done. I can't wait to do it again. Hats off to AMP for bringing it in, Denise Hannaberry. And thank you very much for enjoying it. Thank you.
Oh, well said. Thank you. Yeah, exciting event. Over to you, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple for me. I just want to actually comment too also, if you see on the city website now, these wildfires that are happening around are close to our city here. It's not that far away. And I just want to, put it out there that right now the province got a provincial fire ban on, and they got it extended now till September the 7th. So, they're taking this pretty serious now about lighting fires and having backyard fires, and so they should, because what's happening right now, we had a fire here in Mount Pearl last night that kids lit in the back of one behind somebody's house, and this is unacceptable because we have such a forest area in the city of Mount Pearl right now. If one of those fires get out of control, we could lose a lot of homes here in the city. And I had a call here this afternoon when I came into Chambers. That exact same resident who called it in last night called me again this afternoon. And so the kids got to take this serious. And the parents of those kids got to talk to their kids and tell them that, they can't be doing this. We got a bunch of kids hanging out on the trailways. It's okay to be on the trailways and do what kids do, but lighting fires and putting other people's lives in danger is unacceptable. And whatever we have to do for municipal enforcement and the city, we will do it. Because, like I said, if this gets out of control, we got a lot of trees in Mount Pearl, and we our trail network and the whole city is covered in trees, it would devastate our city. And I just want to, my heart goes out to all the people in Adams Cove, that area that just got over back a few months ago of wildfires, and now they're evacuating Broad Cove, Kingston. Now the fire's traveling up along the coast by Perry's Cove, Freshwater, going towards Carbonear. So it's really concerning. That's my neck of the woods that my wife grew up in, and I grew up down the shore. And I got family that live in that area right now, and my heart goes out to the people out there, because most of the people out there that are fighting these fires are volunteer fire department, volunteer firefighters. So they're working a full-time job, and part-time, whatever the jobs are, but they're also doing this. And I know from the last time, from my conversation with some of the people from Adams Cove Fire, they were completely exhausted from from what happened last time. So I can only imagine what they're going through again this time. Hopefully they get it under control, and hopefully we'll get some sense to what's happening in those areas. So I just want to say, best luck, and say a prayer for everybody out in that area that they get it under control. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the topic of the day. I think the month of August is going to be Beyond the Canada Games, about fire and water. Over to you, Councillor Lane.
Yeah, just one for me. I got to go and do a tour of the brand new facility for Republic Pets and their new location here in Mount Pearl. And I have to say, it was super impressive. Like, it was brand new. The theme with the row houses, it was eye-catching. There's lots of great spaces for the dogs, both rooms, which are almost like little hotel rooms for the dogs that are staying overnight, and a great big inside and outside play area. It's just really impressive. So congratulations on them in opening in their new home. And also, just to speak to the testament of the company and Kelsey and Russell, the owners, they have offered to house any animals that have been displaced from their homes due to the fires that are ongoing. And I just think that is wonderful that they're offering that, and it's a great show of community spirit. So thank you, Republic Pets, for offering that, and congratulations on your new opening.
Very good. Over to you, Councillor Fry. No, I did hear someone say in the past, one item was sufficient, but I think the fact that he took two, I think entitles you to a little extra one tonight. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm just speaking for some.
I always get teased about my round table, but tonight I have one item, and it's very quick. It's very important. I mean, just because Councillor Antle had two, that's double mine, just saying. I just want to, I know that this is our only meeting for August, and I just wanted to let people know that September the 21st to the 27th is Wellbeing Week. And the Mount Pearl Connect Club are holding an event on September the 21st for rock painting. And that is, it's a kindness rock painting initiative. So anybody from the community can come at 2 o'clock on the 21st. It's going to be at Forest Avenue, down where the kiosk used to be. And everyone is welcome to come paint some rocks. And then we're going to lay these rocks with kindness messages along the trail. So it's going to be a lovely community event for Wellness Week. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Well delivered, very succinct, executed flawlessly, I might add. But I will look at all of you, and I know you're all very busy this summer, and Canada Games are coming, and I know Councillors Rice and Antle are facing eyes into that. You folks are cadets, you're facing eyes into your volunteer activities. But City Days 2.0 is coming as well. Speaking of Jason Collins, Director Collins, he's arranged quite the suite. I think maybe next year we could do a City Days in July and a City Days in August, like if it works out really, really well, right? I'm looking at all the budget eyes from staff, but why not, right? You can't have the backyard fire, but you'll be able to go to a concert here in the city of Mount Pearl in Middle Canada Games. So it's a good distraction from some of the things that are worrying us. And like I always say in the city, there's always something for everybody. I have reached out to Mayor Gooby and Mayor Bent just to let everybody know. And also, I know the Premier was over to see the folks in the Victoria Western Bay corridor. there's a mixture of municipalities and LSDs and unincorporated areas over there. So, but kudos, folks, to folks with I think it's emergency measures, right, on the provincial level. I know you folks here at this table, the directors and staff are very much tied into them. Kudos to them, forestry workers, volunteer fire departments, paid fire departments, to the pilots of the water bombers. Like, it's a big effort and it's relentless. This has been going on for weeks. Remember, they just got back from Central putting out fires over there. But I would say to you, CAO, one of the things that came to my mind when I was listening to a lady on the radio today up in the Western Bay area was our alerts. And I don't know what the take-up is, but that's the best way, to Councillor Rice's point about if there was a fire in Mount Pearl, that's the best way to help spread the message. Not the only way, I don't mean that. So what I'd like staff to do, this would be under Director Mullins, I think, is can we put out some social media posts and actually connect it to warnings regarding the fire? Sign up for alerts. It's more than just garbage collection changes. It's more than just service delivery changes. Let's put out get more people signed up so that we can do a fire ban. And I'd like to see a sign coming into the city that always shows where the fire index is, because we've tied it now through the regional fire department in the city of Mount Pearl. We've tied that to whatever the province is doing. And not everybody's on social media, right? Not everybody's on Twitter or X and Facebook. A good sign coming into the city, whether it's a good wooden one with the arrow pointing, extreme is red, I think, and then low is on the other end, which may be green or something not so hot, right? So Director Mullins, could we do that, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you much. Anything else, folks, you want to talk about tonight? And again, I apologize for being late this evening. So on that note, Deputy Mayor, thank you for the motion to adjourn, and that is seconded by Councillor Lane, and we are adjourned.